we're going to talk a little bit about transitioning now. So there's two aspects to transition, both transitioning from the defense to the attack, and then from the attack to the defense. So we're just going to overview one of the two concepts right now, which is the transition from the defense to the attack. So as an example, opposing team takes a shot on our goalkeeper and she wins the ball. What's really important, as we discussed earlier, is that when the ball from the opponent is in our defending third, we're going to be getting very, very compact, so that we have as many of our players behind the ball to take away the ability for the opponent to freely move the ball around and try to take shots on goal. So they take the shot on goal, our goalkeeper wins the ball. Yay, goalkeeper. Immediately at this point, we're in possession, and now it's no longer are we on defense. We're now transitioning immediately to offense. So the very, very first thing that needs to happen is that our 2 and our 3 have to come out wide. Okay, our 4 and our 5 will also kind of get a little bit wide. The 8 and the 10 will start pushing up the field. 7 and 11 pushing up the field immediately. So what we're trying to do here is by expanding our shape, we're creating space. So we got like all sorts of space, like in here, here, up here, here, so forth. Depending on our goalkeeper and how strong and how accurate her punts are, she might punt the ball into here, punt it into here, or hand distribute with a strong roll out here to the 2 or out here to the 3. And it has to be a very strong roll so that the opponent can't just run on the ball and then take it to the net and score on us. So again, at first we were very compact because the opponent is there with the ball. We're very, very compact. Boom, we get the ball, and all of a sudden things start happening. 2 and 3 getting wide, 4 and 5 getting a little bit wide, 11 and 7 moving into space, 8 and 10 creating space, 9 stretching the field, so that all of a sudden we have all this nice space that we could build upon. So as we transition, let's say for example, she hand distributes the ball by rolling it super fast or throwing it to the 2. Now the 2 has basically options. She has the option to play it to the 7. She could play it into the 10. She could play it to the 5. I wouldn't necessarily go to the 6 because chances are the opponent still has his numbers here, and this is kind of danger. So we really want to try to stay out of having the ball when we're deep in our defensive third, doing a lot of ping-ponging passes in front of our goal at this stage of the game. Our girls down the road will be ready for it, but right now they're not quite ready for it. So we want to get wide, wide, wide. You'll hear me say that a lot, wide, wide, wide. These 2 are getting wide. The 7s and 11s are coming out wide, so that we're creating a lot of space. So again, we play it up here, we can play it up here, we can play it a little bit in here. These 2 could work together. If she's under pressure, she could play it back, play it up. So that is part of the transition. The second part of the transition is as we're moving up the field, we're stretching. 7-11, are basically literally, they're running coast to coast. 8 and 10, kind of just support. 9, always kind of stretching, so that we have kind of like an M or a W, depending on how you call it. All right, so we have like a little M shape. So we've got a person in this zone, got a person in this zone, person in this zone. We've got, depending on how deep the ball is, we might have 2 more. So we've got 3 in the central channel, with the 6 trailing, with the 2 and the 3 pushing up, with the 4 and the 5 transitioning up. So we've got a W and an M. So we've got, all 4 of these channels, we've got at least 1 player in them. And these 3 channels, 4 channels, we've got at least 3 out of the 4 channels covered. And that's where another aspect of the transition is. It's just recognizing, having our players recognize where they need to be on the field. So if the ball is on this part of the field, very, very important that our 2 is here wide, so that the 7 could lay off the ball to the 2 if she needs to, if she's being put under pressure by the opponent's 3. So she can lay off the ball back, we can swing it across, we could play it back to the 5, we could play it to the 6, and we could transition from left to right, right to left. I'm a little dyslexic, as you can tell. Anyhow, so left to right, right to left. So, and the whole team is shifting while we're doing that. So if we're shifting the ball over here, boom, 3 is getting wide, 11 is getting wide, 6 moves from this quadrant to this quadrant for support. 4 might be on the farther reach of this quadrant, and 5, 2 might actually then switch over just a little bit so that she could play 1 over, okay, and then 7 might just chinch in just a little bit, and if the ball gets, played back here, then everybody's kind of shifting over here so that we are constantly flowing with the ball. So shifting, 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 shifting. All the while, our goalkeeper, as we said in the earlier video, is pushed up because we're so far down here. She's looking to take away any potential through balls, and she's kind of moving somewhere between these 2 grids, and she's always shouting, giving instructions, because she has the advantage of seeing everybody in front of her. So she's talking to her 5, hey, 2, switch it to the 6, boom. 4 and 5, switch, slide, slide, slide. 2, slide, slide, slide. 3, slide on over. 6, play it to the 2, boom. Everybody slide on over, everybody slide on over, so that we're always sliding, sliding, sliding. Eventually what will happen is the opponent's defense will get sloppy, and so we'll slide, 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 and at some point these 2 will be nice and free, and then that's when we're going to go long, and then we have isolation 1v1, or maybe the ball, crazy as it may sound, but maybe the ball goes to the 3, and the 3 does a little overlap around the 11, you play it to 11, cross to the 9. There's a bunch of different little passing patterns. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but that's kind of sort of how we see this thing evolving. So we're pushing up, the opposing team wins the ball. All right, once they win the ball, 7's putting on pressure. If they start pinging the ball up to their 8, that's okay. Now we're dropping. 6 is getting into the closer zone. 10 is putting on pressure. We're dropping back. We're getting numbers behind. We're trying to instantly, as quickly as possible, win that ball back so that we can then attack. All right, but if they start having a nice run, we're coming back. Goalkeepers sliding into the goal. 4 and 5 are finding their marks. 2 and 3 are dropping back. 8 and 10 are dropping back. 6 is mindful of where they might be able to combine. And so, we might have a little pressure here, cover here, taking away their ability to switch the point of attack to their folks. So just it's just a super, super quick transition, and we're kind of off to the races, and we're doing our thing. We're putting up pressure, we're marking up, and we're getting, as they drive down, we're getting more and more and more and more compact, and everybody's coming back, so that they might have a lot of people moving, but we've got all of our players except for the 9, and then the 9 would basically be in the area of the ball. So if the ball's in this area, 9 is basically going to be somewhere here. So if we win it, we have a quick outlet pass. If the ball's in this area, the 9 flows back and forth, back and forth. Okay, That's a super quick, kind of sloppy transition from offense to defense, defense to offense. And I hope you guys got it. Thanks, bye.